In this video, I'm going to be talking about the current YouTube crisis. If you haven't heard, advertisers are pulling their advertising dollars and their ads off of YouTube. This affects creators, and there's actually a trickle effect that's happening around the web. And we're going to talk about that, but we're also going to talk about 3 things that you can do in response. And so if you're just joining, this was a live broadcast on the rebroadcast. My name is Sean Cannell, and my passion is to help you go further, faster in media and really build your income, influence, and impact with online video and YouTube. So this is something that I'm very passionate about because this is something that affects me. And if you're watching this video, it's probably something that affects you as well as a creator. And so we can dive into that topic. Show notes are in the YouTube description as always. I'll link up the articles that I'm about to talk about. And then we'll also do some Q&A if you're able to be here live in a little bit. And so we're talking about the current YouTube crisis. Let's look at what's happening, and I'll give you a little backstory on this. What's happening, and this is the New York Times, is that publishers, it says here, are retreating from the risks of Google YouTube advertising. Phil DeFranco, a popular news YouTuber, called this the huge YouTube crisis, talking about this YouTube boycott. The boycott is advertisers are boycotting YouTube, and he's talking about why it's getting worse and why people are scared. ABC News, big brands pull ads from YouTube in a widening boycott. And this is people like PepsiCo, Walmart stores, Starbucks, all these brands jumping off of YouTube. And it's been estimated that it could be costing as much as $750 million, although some estimates are that it is a lot more than even that. And so why is this considered a crisis, and basically what happened? To summarize the story is advertisers started to recognize that their ads, the pre-roll ads, the banner ads, whatever it is, those ads that show up in the sides were showing up on videos that they considered to be controversial, sketchy, even kind of very political, very polarizing. And if you're Walmart and you're advertising, some family-friendly purchases for spring, and your video shows up on something that doesn't align with that, originally Google had said that they would be, they gave advertisers tools to kind of DJ their content so it would show up in certain places. Obviously, those 2 tools didn't work, and now they're pulling off ads. Why does that matter? Well, a lot of creators like us, YouTube ads are one of the ways you monetize your message. It's one of the ways you monetize your brand, and it's one of the ways you build your income on YouTube. And when you talk about some of the biggest players spending the most money pulling those advertiser dollars off of YouTube, then those aren't going to trickle down to the creators like they used to in the past. And so this is, in a way, a crisis, and it certainly is. It's definitely affecting creators. But I think there are 3 probably big responses that I would have to this. But let's actually take it a step further to illustrate this even more. If it wasn't just YouTube, you also have this article, bloggers are panicking, this would include YouTubers as well, over changes to Amazon's affiliate system. And if you didn't hear that, the new rates on Amazon affiliate took effect on March 1st of 2017. And some people are saying that they would have a loss of as much as 20% revenue or even more when it comes to their affiliate marketing. And if we've been hanging out that long, if you've been here on Think Media TV, we've talked a lot about affiliate marketing being one of the ways to develop passive income for your brand. And so what should we do? What do we do about potentially our ad revenue going down? What do we do about potentially our affiliate income going down? What would our responses be? Well, the 3 things that I would probably say, and we could do some Q&A, and definitely want to hear some of your opinions on this as well, and see kind of your guys' thoughts and feedback. And just to clarify, Twizzed Intention says, what is the crisis? The crisis is that YouTube ads, basically for you and for me as creators, are going to be going down because big brands are pulling away from YouTube. So for creators, for video influencers, for the people who are building their influence, income, and impact here on YouTube, and specifically, this definitely affects them. But what would you do? So I really believe this, that with every closed door, with every disappointment and with every challenge, I believe that there's an open door. And I believe that there's opportunities. So the three things are my thoughts on this. Number one is that I think it's so important that you and I actually plan for stuff like this to happen, that we plan for change. I've got, a promise for you. One thing I guarantee that's going to happen in your life is change is going to happen, right? Things change, seasons change. It's up to the brands. It's up to these platforms. These things change. And we never want to get to a place where we just assume that things are always going to stay the same. Maybe right now, building your brand online, using certain social media platforms. You might wish the algorithm used to be a certain way, or you might wish that it was back like it was a few years ago. You might wish MySpace was still around. Rest in peace, MySpace. You might wish Vine was still around, but things change. Platforms go away. And I think that smart influencers and smart creators, which I believe you are if you're connected to this channel, is they plan for change. Plan for it. Strategize it. Get it on paper. Plan for a rainy day, right? Like when we plan, that we expect, we're not surprised really when stuff like this happens. But number two, and this is my biggest point, is that you really need to diversify your income streams. The last time we hung out here on YouTube, it was about passive income. And I'll actually link it up on the YouTube card, whichever side it is on this video. But we did a video talking about developing passive income and 5 different ways to make passive income online. So I won't talk about that too much here, but I'll also link that up in the YouTube description. But why? Like, why would you want to diversify your income? And this is where it hit home for me, because some of these articles got sent to me. So I'm getting Facebook messages. Friends are like, hey, are you seeing this? I know you do YouTube. Like, are you panicked? Are you scared? Are you worried? And I was like, no, I'm not. And why? Because not all of my eggs are in one basket. And that's what I really want to challenge you to do as well. If you're building your brand online, whether you're just starting, you're in the middle, or you're crushing it, are all your eggs in one basket? If all your eggs were in the YouTube ads basket, it is a crisis. And I empathize, and there's some things you got to obviously do to react. But if they aren't, if you've got 10 baskets and one has, some sketchy, rocky stuff, or even 2, Amazon affiliate stuff is happening, YouTube ad stuff is happening. Even if 2 of those baskets get affected, but you've got multiple streams, multiple different things happening, and you've diversified your income, then it's not going to necessarily impact you as much in a negative way as it would most people who did not plan for change. And I want to encourage you, whether you're working at a job and you think it's going great, you love your job, you love your boss, you love everything about it, that might change. Your boss might leave. You might get fired. Something might happen. It's just, things change. And so even if you haven't started building side income yet, start building some side income, because you can't guarantee what's happening in your job. If you are, even in school right now and you're looking to the future and you're thinking about, I want to go on this path, it's not bad to necessarily have a couple things going, because if one doesn't work out, you're good. But if you only had one, then that was all you had, right? And so having multiple different things going, having multiple hustles and side hustles so that you can be diversified when something like this happens. And then the third one is to never, number 3, here's how I react to this, and I would love to hear your thoughts. The third one is to never get complacent. Because again, I think we can get tempted to get comfortable and complacent, wishing. One of the fatal mistakes of a lot of entrepreneurs and young hustlers is wishing things were a certain way. Well, things just are how they are. And if they change, then they are what they change to. But what you have to do is rise above that and react to it. So never getting complacent and always looking for opportunities to multiply your income. And it's crazy, the timing of this, because we literally are doing, this is the first time I've ever done this, I'm co-hosting a webinar, literally talking about new ways that do not include affiliate marketing, although we'll talk about that, digital courses, sponsorships, YouTube ads, not including those. New ways and new opportunities happening on social media. We're doing a webinar that's coming up really soon at idea2income.live. And I'm co-hosting it with a friend of mine and business expert, Shalene Johnson. That's the URL. It's in the description as well. And that's going to be happening. And what we're kind of talking about here is this exact theme. Like, how do you diversify your income and actually take multiple ideas and turn them into different forms of income and create multiple streams of revenue? Shalene's a business expert, New York Times bestselling author, and pretty known as a fitness celebrity and whatnot. This is her. She get New York Times bestselling book. Clearly, I haven't read it yet because there's a difference between the results. But she's, as far as business advice and whatnot, she's crushing it. And we're going to be doing this webinar together. So the link to that. And here's the cool thing too, is actually, even if you don't have an idea yet, or you're like, I don't even know what I'm passionate about yet, we're going to be talking a lot about that on the webinar and workshop, plus doing live Q&A. So anyways, check that out. And I want to take some of your questions and hear what you think about this YouTube crisis, about what you think is happening. Let me know where you're watching from too on the live chat, or if you're on the rebroadcast, thanks so much for being here. Can you leave a comment below and let me know what you're thinking about this YouTube crisis that is happening? Maricela, yes, super pumped to be connected to Shalene. And this is our first ever co-webinar. I was so pumped that she said yes to do this, because she's really my mentor when it comes to all things building your business, branding, and really being strategic, being a smart influencer, and not just kind of like hoping things are good and trying to ride the wave, but actually preparing for the next wave. And that's really what we want to be helping you with. One person says not worried. I like that. I mean, are you worried? What are you thinking about the crisis? Carl, just to recap, what the crisis is that advertisers, and here's the URL, and there's also a link in the description to the webinar that we're doing this week, or you can also check it out on the replay if we do one. But here's the crisis. Big brands are pulling ads away from YouTube, and we're talking to the tune of $750 million. Some people are saying billions of dollars. So again, if AT&T and Walmart and PepsiCo are taking their dollars away from YouTube, those dollars are not going to trickle down to creators. And this is how the large majority of YouTubers earn a living. And some people have teams and they've got a whole business. And so if their income drops 10, 20, 30, 50%, that's a huge crisis. However, it's not if you've diversified your income, and that's what we're talking about. Neem says most creators will find different similar platforms. That's smart too. Diversify your income streams, diversify your platforms. I'm glad you brought that up. I love YouTube, and this is clearly where we have focused a lot in this channel, and I love this community. But we've been doing a ton more on Facebook, on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, a lot of places. And it's hard. It is. You think about, man, the social media, like there's so many different platforms to be on. But if all your eggs are in one basket, and Benji from Video Influencers, we've talked about this a lot. One of the pieces of advice I gave him 3-4 years ago is I was like, guys, you should really go all into Facebook. And now there's a couple million likes on Facebook, when no other vloggers, really like no other YouTubers really in their space did that. Now it's turned into this major thing for them, and they've got this whole Facebook thing rolling out for It's Judy Time. Why? Because of diversifying. So I really encourage you, whether you're able to attend the webinar tomorrow or whatever, to really be thinking about multiple income streams, multiple streams of revenue, not getting complacent, planning for change, and positioning yourself for future opportunities to ride current waves. Diana says, wasn't initially going to YouTube ads to YouTube for the money anyhow. Excited to hear additional ideas. Yeah, good point. And banking on YouTube ads is such an up and down road anyways. So planning on like those being the thing is probably a good idea not to do that. And yeah, we're going to share a ton of ideas tomorrow and talk a lot about this at idea2income.live. Brock says it happens to every platform. Yep, definitely. Essential Craftsman says, I think about income streams all day, every day. I love it. You're on that hustle, you're on that grind, and thinking about getting your mind right, your grind right, your hustle on, and your multiple income flows happening. What are you drinking? Let me know. I'm sipping on some coffee. Do you ever have all the social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat? Is it ever going too far? I think there's a point where you do cut off. I don't invest in every single platform all the same, but um, I do think being on multiple platforms is smart because you're diversifying, right? And at the end of the day, you should ask this question: where is your target audience? So if you have a craft channel, if your target audience is predominantly female, maybe shopping, lifestyle, style type of content, then you should be on Pinterest. Not only should you be on Pinterest, I mean, like you need to be on Pinterest, right? Because you should go where your ideal kind of audience, the target, you should define and know who your target audience is. Number one. Number two, you should be where they are once you know that. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Sewing Report, awesome channel, by the way. Jennifer is in the live chat. If you see her, you should check her channel out. Just crushing it, naturally helping people with sewing. Awesome stuff. She says, since I'm relatively new to these platforms, I haven't really been set in my ways. So I'm in a position to adapt and experiment and do different content. And I love that. I think being nimble, being quick to adapt. And here's one thing, one mistake I've personally made. So if I just pass along some advice, is I get into the place where I wish things used to be like they used to be. Like I sometimes just want, once live start, I mean, we're doing live right now. Maybe you're watching on the rebroadcast. To be honest, it took me a little while to jump into doing live here on Think Media TV. I was like, I don't know. Like I think we get set in our ways, and there's even some psychology behind that actually says our brain almost develops like roads get grooves in them when cars drive over them repeatedly. The same thing actually happens to our brain. And so there's research to back this up, and I'm sorry I can't reference that. But as you just do habits and patterns, you get into the same flow. So nobody wants to acknowledge that. I don't want to acknowledge right now that Twitter is not doing the greatest, because I love Twitter so much. But I think one of the dangerous traps for influencers, that means you, that means me, is getting romantic about all this kind of stuff. If Twitter goes away, it goes away. If YouTube goes away completely, it probably won't happen, but it could. And so are you preparing and planning for change? Let me know in the live chat if you're preparing and planning for change. Shelly's smart. She says, be relentless to your goals, but be flexible in your methods. That's tweetable. Shelly, tweet me that and I'll retweet it. That's a killer quote right there. I love that. And what else we got? Any questions that you have for me? And I'll jump off in just a second. We are doing about this. How do you respond to the crisis? 3 things. Plan for change. Number 2, diversify your income streams. And number 3, never get complacent. We are doing a webinar tomorrow, or who knows when you're seeing this, right? But you can find all the details at ideatoincome.live. And we're going to be talking a little bit about multiple income streams. But the emphasis here, and Chalene Johnson, one of my mentors, is teaching on some stuff. Okay, my goal, and you probably have maybe seen this. I don't believe in like overhyping things, whatever. But the stuff she's teaching is literally mind blowing. Like some new school ways to set up smart multiple streams of revenue that does not include affiliate marketing, YouTube ads, sponsorships, or even digital courses, right? So, I mean, I'll let her break the news, but you're definitely going to want to be on this webinar. The link's in the description, and talking about those other 4 I just mentioned. Those are 4 we do. It's still good stuff, but I'm paying so laser focused attention on what I'm learning from Chalene, who's going to be on this webinar, because of this very reason. I think this is the week to recognize, wow, things will change. Things won't always be the same. So let's be smart. Let's be nimble. And let's do it. A way to ask questions, if you want to ask a question, is type like 7 question marks. Put your question in there and then type like 7 more. And then I'll be able to respond. How many people actually click on the YouTube ads? Brock, that's a good question. A lot, number 1. And then the skippable ones, it eventually charges the advertiser if you've watched a certain percentage. So, I mean, think about it. Like if you have ads going, I usually watch the movie trailers if I'm interested. You know what I mean? Like I actually really love the movie trailer ads. I just signed up for YouTube Red though, literally today. I don't know why it took me so long to do that. Jeho asks, what other platforms are ready for monetization? Money is a big theme now. So, you know, you might be asking from the advertiser standpoint, which you probably aren't, but other platforms, Pinterest ads are like a legit thing right now. There's some new ones. You can do Facebook Messenger type of ads. You can do, of course, Gmail ads. You can be showing up in people's Gmail. And so there's a lot of unique. That's a Google platform. Twitter has ads. YouTube has ads. Facebook has ads. Instagram has ads that's available to everybody. Snapchat has ads that actually perform very well. They're not really available to like the small business market. But in answer to your question, people ask me this all the time. Like, they're like dumbfounded. They're like, you know, I can't turn on ads on my Facebook videos. How could you monetize Facebook? I hear that all the time. Like, I can't turn on, like, there's no ads for Twitter. I can't, because YouTube has ingrained and conditioned us to believe that turning on ads is like the only way to make money online, when actually that's one of the farthest things from the truth. And it's not even the best way. If you think about it, you want to share your content and your message with the world, and you put a video even on YouTube. And then what you do is you put somebody else in front of you before they get to you that could distract the person, you know, take them somewhere else, have them leave. And so with social media, there's about 10 other ways that you want to be focusing on monetizing. Ads, I don't want to put it down that much. I mean, we have some ads on certain videos turned on and whatnot, but I think that there's a lot of different opportunities. And so that's what we're going to be talking about at Idea to Income .live. And there's a link in the description if you want to be a part of that webinar. What's your favorite mic for computers? I love the Blue Snowball. I've got one of those around here. I'm using a Audio Technica AT2020, I think what it is. It's a USB mic. So if you like the way this sounds, it's got a pop filter on here. I love that one. What do you think the best low budget drone is? You know, I don't know how low budget you mean, but when I saw the DJI Phantom 3 on sale on Black Friday, which I bet Prime Day, it's probably still a couple months out, but I think that maybe an older Phantom, so you know you're going to get quality, but that one got was a lot more affordable, you know, at least a few $100s off. It's like $100 off or something. So that's one to look into. Maybe look into, you know, whenever they release, everybody wants like the Phantom 4 Pro or the Mavic, but those old drones are killer. And so you could save some money if you bought one of those. What's your favorite shotgun microphone? Probably the Rode VideoMic Pro, because it has the plus 20 decibels on it. And one of the things that can make a lot of DSLR audio sound bad is what's called AGC, auto gain control, or basically the amplifier inside of the camera is crappy. And so what happens is you plug in a mic, but there's kind of a hiss noise because the DSLRs typically weren't really thinking that much about having the best audio in the world. So what you can do is kind of complex, but if you do the plus 20 bass, the gain on the mic, and then you turn manually the gain on the internal mic all the way down, it removes all the noise and all the hiss. On like a Canon 70D is where that would be a problem. I just compared recently the Canon 70D audio to my Panasonic G7. The G7 sounded horrible for that exact reason, same mic, but you can really get a nice mix on the 70D. And so Branson, the replay of this will play in a second. You can check out the full video as far as the YouTube crisis and whatnot. If you got a question, throw some questions around it. Okay, so is all you need to do to be accepted for an Amazon affiliate? Here's a question basically. How do you get accepted for an Amazon affiliate channel? Do you need a website? A lot of people who are part of like our courses and inside of like Video Ranking Academy have gotten just the YouTube channel approved. But here's my biggest advice. Number one, you should have 6 to 12 videos on your YouTube channel before you apply. Number two, you should have a clean and clear brand on your YouTube channel. If it's like a home decor channel and you have 6 to 12 videos out, you're probably gonna get approved. And I mean like good cover image, some thumbnails, like a clean look, because it's kind of like a job application or going to a job interview. You want that first impression to be good. A human being will be approving your channel. So you can get a YouTube channel approved, but just consider what is the impression of your channel, and then Amazon will probably approve you. So let's see here. The Rode is $99. If you're looking for a really good low budget mic, you can get the Takstar. And so this one is great. It does work good. I mean, look, good reviews, and it's $30.99, and that's a shotgun mic. It's not actually going to sound a lot different than other mics. I can link that up later for your convenience, so you can just look it up. It's the Takstar like interview mic. All right. If I missed your question, just do like 7 question marks. Put your question, do like 7 at the end. My affiliate account, Eddie says, got shut off with over 30 videos and thumbnails, over 2,000 followers. Okay, so Eddie's affiliate account, if I heard the question right, got shut down on Amazon. And you're saying you've got a lot of videos and you got a lot of followers on social media. Here's probably why that happened, though. They don't care how many followers on social media. If your account is inactive, maybe it wasn't, so that'd be weird. But if your account is inactive, meaning you're not getting sales or clicks for a certain period of time, they'll shut your account down. So once you launch your Amazon affiliate account, you want to make sure that you're hustling and getting some views and clicks on that and stuff. Jack says, what platforms should we be using to help boost our channels? Is it hard to move traffic? So I think you should use the platforms that you're willing to invest enough time in. So I think a lot of times we want overnight results. And the reality is that doesn't really happen on almost any platform. Sometimes we perceive social media as like this magical thing that could help us get discovered and go viral overnight. And while there are some exceptions to that, the average person needs to hustle really hard and grind and build little by little over time. And little by little, a little becomes a lot. You build momentum. So my answer to your question would be to pick a couple, but then really build there. And so here's kind of what I mean. If you pick Facebook and you start a fan page, you should be doing 4 posts a day. Like that should be your target. We struggle to do that, but we at least post there every day, and we're about 4 posts a day. Facebook Lives, Facebook native upload videos, just text posts, pictures and text. What other kinds? That's about it. You know what I mean? Engaging with your audience. And a lot of social media platforms are pay to play. So spending some money to potentially boost and invest in your channel, even if that's only $5 to $20 a week. So what I just broke down there was kind of what you would want to commit to if you chose Facebook. You'd want to, from the start, you'd want to start with a plan to say, okay, our content strategy, our social media strategy here is going to be to do this much content on this regular of a basis, you know, at these times of day, and then launch in. And so you kind of want to count the cost of your time, your energy, but and answer your question, 100%. Social media is a great way to, I think, even grow your YouTube channel and get discovered. And one real tactical tip for doing that could be get on Instagram, post really good content, and then research, the 30 most important hashtags in your niche that are not crowded, that are super nuanced. So this is where the people make the mistake. They do hashtag love, good luck. You know, that's never going to happen, right? They do hashtag even entrepreneurship, pretty crowded, but you can get pretty nuanced and become, you know how Instagram has a top 9 featured posts? You want to be in those top posts of different hashtags, jump on different hashtags at different times. And then what people can do is they discover you through the hashtag, follow your Instagram account, and then when you release new videos, you could let your Instagram audience know. So if you followed that, that would just be one linear Instagram strategy for how you could get followers over to your YouTube channel, if that makes sense. Steven says, can you do a video talking about the best equipment to have when starting a music channel? Probably not, Steven. I would love to. Maybe I'll interview somebody, but I try to stay out of areas I don't know much about. And when it comes to like mixing music or creating music or preamps, I do know a little bit about the stuff, but I'm not enough to definitely position myself as an expert. Lily says, what's the best platform for green building? Can you rephrase the question? Not fully sure what that means, but thank you for the question. What's the best budget point and shoot camera? Zach, these days I would still probably look for a Canon S120 used. And if you could find one used, I bet you could get it really budget. You know, they don't make them anymore. Here's a G7X. It's like the video quality is like pretty much the same as this. It just doesn't have the flip screen. It's actually more durable. So my friends, Benji and Judy Travis, it's Judy's life. They use Canon S120s. You know, they have kids and stuff. Those things are like indestructible. They drop them, scrape them, rub them on the concrete, run over them with cars, throw them out of airplanes. Some exaggerations in those statements. But it's a great camera. And if you hustle on eBay and some different places, you could do that. Saved by the Bell asks, how can you make money on Facebook? It's a little more, that's a great question. How can you make money on Facebook? It's a little more nuanced. And so we can't dive a ton into it here. And so at our webinar that's coming up, idea-to-income.live, we will be talking, sharing a bunch of tips about that. And this is what it is. This is the countdown, at least based on the time you're seeing this video. Going to be jumping on with Shalene Johnson. Shalene has got like 1 million Facebook likes and is just huge in Facebook. And so she'll be directly sharing some stuff that goes far beyond even stuff I know, and crushing it tomorrow. So I hope you can join us for that webinar. It's going to be a lot of fun. You can register. If you go to idea-to-income.live and links in the description, and you enter your email, we can get you all the confirmation details and make sure you get the link to watch it, because it'll be like a private event that we're doing live, and then we'll do live Q&A too. Okay, what's the best trending niches in 2017 to get into YouTube? Michael, I'm glad you asked this question, because a couple of the myths that we're going to be attacking tomorrow are that, number one, you need to know what your passion is before you start YouTube. That's a myth. You actually don't need to know what your passion is. You can just start a channel about something, obviously, that you're semi-interested in, but it's not like it has to be your life's purpose and your life's calling, and like you have the sun comes out of the sky and the voice of God just shouts down and says, son, your YouTube channel shall be about. I mean, that'd be awesome if that happens. But if it doesn't happen, you can just start a channel. And so that is a smart way to think about it. Because what if the channel you start, or even a social media account you start, an Instagram featured account, one of these things, what if it's just smart because it serves an audience and it serves interest, and it's something you're a little bit knowledgeable about, and you learn how to set it up. And then what if that successful thing funds and launches something that you are more passionate about later? So in answer to your question, what are the most trending niches? I still think there's a lot of space in tech. And if you became, I know a friend of mine, Andrew, was telling me about another friend who, and he's got a great tech channel, Andrew Edwards, Gear Live. He talked about a friend whose entire sole focus is Sprint phones, because phones it's such a big world, you know, smartphones, galaxies, a lot of droids, a lot of stuff I don't know about. Are such a big niche. And so, but he just hyper focused down and just focused on one thing and became like the go-to expert of that. So if you look to about what to start a YouTube channel about, and you just look for white space, just fill a gap of something somebody hasn't done yet. So this has kind of been done now, but for instance, like when Snapchat came out, people started YouTube channels all about how to use Snapchat, get viewers on Snapchat, get followers on Snapchat. They jumped in, and then they just completely filled white space. Now, their purpose in life and their passion may not even have been Snapchat. They might have been excited about it, but it wasn't the point. They saw white space, they enjoyed the platform, they jumped on, and they did it. So that's kind of what I would recommend is you said, what are some of the trending niches? I think anywhere there's white space. I think the other thing to just look for is anything that you could bring a different angle to. So you don't have to look if it's been done before, but nobody's done it like you. If it's been done before, but my dogs are barking. At a time like this, when we're hanging out. Anyways, I hope that helps. Let's see. Facebook, YouTube, best platform for green building. I'm super sorry, Lily. I don't know what green building means. I could look it up. What is green building? Green construction, sustainable building. Okay, got it. I get it. Green, like building with like solar panels, self-sustaining. Okay, great. Love the question. So Lily's curious, what's the best channel to grow? You know, I think both. I mean, if I was you, I would deploy a strategy. And let's dive into your topic, right? We're talking about green building. First thing you do is you go to YouTube and you type in green building, and you see all these video ideas that pop up, right? So you see that you could do green building tips. Like that's really where you're starting. And so that's a great video idea, green building tips and tricks. And you can see people do care about this. This is one of the tests. It's a quick test we can do. Green building technology, green building, and then watch this little hack, guys. Are you guys ready? Check this out. Put an underscore in before it, go space, and then it puts green building in the middle of a sentence for your video ideas. So now you could do sustainable construction, and see what we can do here is we can go down the rabbit hole of these ideas. So sustainable construction is like a whole nother angle now, which this just unlocked a whole nother angle of video ideas. So this is sort of the same as green building. So now you have a video called sustainable construction materials, and it reviews something that you're teaching on, or you have a video called sustainable construction techniques, but then you can take it even deeper and throw maybe an underscore at the end, and you get a few different. Sustainable home construction, and you build a video around that. Sustainable building construction. So Lily, my answer to you would be 100% jump on YouTube. I think YouTube's still my favorite platform. Now, honestly, I don't care about the crisis because we don't build our business and brand on YouTube ads. So we never did, and we never probably will. So it's still the second largest search engine in the world. There's still well over 1 billion monthly users, continues to grow. It's still the best place, I believe, to get discovered based on some of the things I just was showing you. And so I would dive in and start a YouTube channel, but then I'd also start a Facebook channel, because Facebook is not a search engine, but it's where people are, and friends of friends can share content. So when people like a post and comment on it, the engagement goes up. And when they share it, their friends can see it and they can jump on. I'll take a couple more questions. Thanks for hanging out today. What is your gear for live streaming? A Logitech webcam, I forget the model, a USB mic, and some sort of a light that's up here. That light right there. And this webcam and this USB mic. AT2020 mic. And Logitech has a new 4K webcam. It's awesome, I think. Jason, watch the replay. We talked about the crisis earlier. Is YouTube your living job? Natalie asked. It is. So we make a living originally, and answer your question. Interestingly enough, like the original way we went full-time on YouTube was off what's called affiliate marketing, and off of actually just Amazon.com. We had multiple different affiliate programs we did, but Amazon alone replaced the income that we made when I had a full-time job and a salary, when I've been a freelancer and worked for clients, when I've like done video production or like traded, time for money and all that kind of stuff. We were able to go full-time and replace our income with just Amazon affiliate marketing. So you can even see that from the get-go, we were never planning on or banking on ads. Now our income is divided up between digital training products, and still affiliate marketing. YouTube ads has gotten not bad, more significant, but clearly it could be going down here based on the YouTube crisis. And speaking, consulting, and so a lot of different income streams opened up, coaching and things like that. So in answer to your question, yes. And whoa, Grandpa's Place with the super chat. Thank you so much, Grandpa. If you have a question, let me know. We'd love to answer your question and highlight that. Love the love for the super chat. Thanks so much for being here. Best video setting for the Mavic Pro, Zach. There's probably other people that are smarter about that. Look up that question on YouTube. I'm not sure. Sewing Report says Amazon affiliate program is hands down the best. Yep, love it. It really is. It's really good. Okay, questions. I'm getting ready to start a variety channel, gaming, electronics, reviews, DIY on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Any advice? Next level up. Can I give you some hard advice? I mean, you're here. You asked. I wouldn't start a variety channel. Honestly, I would try to get it a little more focused because, let me see here. Gaming, electronics, reviews. Okay, I take it back. It's not that it's bad, but I wouldn't call it a variety channel. Here, we talk about this a lot, and I'll keep saying it over and over, that if you try to reach everybody, you end up reaching nobody. I think that one of the most important things that you need to do this year on social media and in the years to come is work on focus and work on clarifying your messaging down. So not that you need to change what you're doing, and I encourage you to start, experiment, and learn as you go. But let me just compare that to, again, I saw Jennifer on here, I already shouted her out. She has a sewing report channel. What's so strong about her channel is it's about sewing. And that's power in and of itself. She's really good at it. She's really cool. She's funny. She's creative. And she's helping people though with sewing. So a lot of you might be like, well, I'm not interested in that, which is a good thing because you're not interested in sewing. But someone who is, can you see how clear it is in the world? They're like, I have questions about sewing. So they can go to YouTube and type in. And then boom, Jennifer appears. When the student is ready, the teacher appears, and they can follow her with total clarity. And she doesn't do gaming, and she doesn't do this, stuff over here, because she's totally focused her channel. If I could give you a piece of advice, if you can put a focus to it, that's my biggest piece of advice. Then it makes sense in the world. And because here's the reality: social media is a lot of opportunities, but a lot of competition. So when you roll up and someone goes like, hey man, what's your channel about? You're like, well, it's kind of about everything. They're like, all right, cool. Well, that confuses me, and they'll leave because it's confusing. So I actually think gaming, electronics, reviews, even DIY, if it's connected to that, can be branded under the same umbrella. But you should work on that branding. And let me give you an example. The Verge is kind of a good example. The Verge talks about a lot of different stuff. They talk about tech, science, culture, cars, but really it all comes down, reviews, to tech. Okay. So this is kind of, and obviously it's a super strong brand and they're just crushing it. So that's what I would recommend. I think this adds a lot of value to just across, Think Media community here, is to work on building a brand that brings a cohesion, which another way to put that, which just connects all of the micro things that you're doing under something like one big idea. So next level up, refine the big idea and work on the elevator pitch, meaning being able to describe what your channel is about and who it's for in one sentence. And then as you deploy on those channels, a lot of the people who are about everything will be in one ear and in people's eyes and then out the back of their head. Like you see them, but then you're like, I don't know what it's about, and they'll leave. But they will. It's a super chat party. Andy, thank you so much. Thank you so much. By the way, super chat questions, of course, get priority. Zach, thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you guys have questions, let me know. And would love to help there. But yeah, I think that is a huge important thing. What is the big brand you're building, the big idea? Christina says, what Macs are the best kind of computers for editing, or what kinds of software can I use for editing media in general? Are Macs the best kind? So these days, I don't think it matters too much between Mac and PC. However, I would actually recommend that most people get a MacBook Pro and use iMovie, because I think it's the easiest way to, thank you so much, @Reef, appreciate it. It's the easiest workflow. Macs are easy to use. They break down kind of less. They don't really get viruses. And you have iMovie. Saying that, I use PC, but if I just wanted to help somebody like, hey, what's the shortest path between like just creating content? Macs are really for content creators, and they're meant to be overly user friendly. So that's probably what I'd recommend. Dustin Vlogs, appreciate it. You got a question, bro? I'll answer it in just a second. So yeah, other than that, I think I have some videos out on, if you go back and look at my old video, it's called Best Laptop for Video Editing. That laptop is no longer the best laptop for video editing, but I share 7 tips or something in that video of what to look for in a video editing laptop. So I would apply that to today. Dustin says, how long should you cook Hot Pockets after cooking. Is that a riddle? I think that's a riddle because I don't know. I number one, I don't want to cook Hot Pockets after cooking them because they're too hot when you finish cooking them. And you're so hungry, you always burn your mouth, right? It burns the top of your mouth 100% of the time. It's one of those life lessons that you never learn. You say, I'm never going to do that again. But next time you go too long without eating, you microwave that Hot Pocket and you burn your mouth and you say, why did I never learn? Am I right or am I right? I could take a couple more questions. Your driver, Mike, appreciate you. Snap super chat party. And he says iMovie is very easy to use. Yeah, so definitely if you want to jump into video editing, I'll do that. Juan says Amazon's not an option for Latin America. Only 10% of people use credit cards. Would you recommend as far as affiliate marketing for physical products? Two opportunities, Juan. Number one, you can, it's harder to set up, but you could, depending if you're only targeting Latin America, then this wouldn't apply. But you could have a YouTube channel there. Like just for instance, my friend lives in Canada. I don't know if this will translate. Jabin, in his affiliate description, he uses Canadian affiliate links and he uses US affiliate links. So I'd go into your analytics. Where's your audience? You can, another friend that lives in London also has US affiliate links. And you might say, Sean, how do you set it up? I'm not sure, but he figured out how to set it up. And so does that make sense? So you could still earn money internationally, no matter where you're based, depending on how you set it up. Thing one. Thing two, what would you recommend as far as affiliate marketing for physical products? I mean, if they're your own affiliate products, you just market them directly. And so I don't know if that helped. It's not even an affiliate deal. You're marketing your own products. And if you're just joining, you're just jumping on, one thing that I actually talk more about doing different ways of turning your idea into income, not just affiliate marketing, not just YouTube ads. I'm doing a webinar with lifestyle and business expert and New York Times bestselling author Chalene Johnson. The link is in the description, and we're going to be talking more about making passive income, building multiple income streams at idea2income.live, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Isaac says, do you do shout outs? Yes. Isaac, shout out. And let's see, question, Canon or Nikon for video? I mean, for video, Canon, I mean, I think it just is. Nikon's caught up a little bit, but Canon is really where the video is. These days though, I mean, if we're really honest, can we be honest? Can we be real? These days, it's kind of a Sony and Panasonic. It's kind of probably a Sony, Panasonic here, and then it's like Canon, and then it's like Nikon for video, or maybe not even. But these days, I mean, and you might have noticed recently, Casey Neistat, he started vlogging again. Who's excited about that? So he started back to daily, but he changed his whole setup. Not that I think everybody should do that. Also, it costs a fortune, right, to move over to an entirely new workflow. But he did it basically because he wanted to go 4K. But one thing that I would expect is in the next 12 months, I think Canon will react to that. So Juan, how do you donate here? You can do super chat if you want, but maybe it's not set up. There's a little button below here on the chat. So you can do that, send out. So, hey, let me take like one more question. Tips on getting video ideas. Love that question. We'll do that one. Maybe a couple others. How do you get video ideas? My best tip for getting video ideas is, we talked about a little bit earlier, but actually let me know your niche. What is your niche? I forget who asked that question. Let me know your niche really quick, and we can workshop some video ideas for you directly. Or somebody else could jump in really quick. Just tell me what your channel is all about. What's your best camera to film fishing and hunting in low light on a budget? Best camera for low light are good cameras in low light. You're like, Sean, you're a jerk. That was the worst answer. But what I mean is, here's what, number one, if you want a good camera in low light, you kind of got to spend money. Hands down. Cheap cameras are typically not good in low light. Number two is a full frame sensor, if you can get it. The larger the sensor, the truly better it'll be in low light. So like a G7X and the RX100, these have 1-inch sensors, so they're better in low light. And then three, the aperture, meaning If it's f2.8, does it go down to f1.8? That lets more light into the camera. That ends up being better in low light. And then sometimes the processor helps. And so I might suggest, if you could, it's $1,000, but maybe the RX 105 is a great low light camera, and it's also portable. So if you were taking it out hunting, you want to have amazing photos and amazing video clips, $1,000. But again, if you do want truly great low light, you need a camera that's spec'd out for it. And so let's do this really quick. I'm trying to pick a niche now back, and we'll do more of these lives. Let me know if you like these live. If you appreciated this live broadcast and you haven't hit the button yet, or if you're on the rebroadcast and you haven't hit the like button, can you hit the like button? Especially if you're on the rebroadcast, because here's the saddest, this is the true YouTube crisis, is that once a live stream ends, the live chat disappears forever. There's no way to go back and see all of this love that and all this communication we have going on. It switches over to the YouTube comment system. Then you can see those forever. So it means the world to me if you go back and just leave a comment once the replay goes up. Okay, so teaching kids. Katrisa says, teaching kids. Hey, super chat. Really quick, we'll do that. Handcrafted Cars says, what lighting would you recommend for craft tutorials? I think soft boxes are the biggest thing to make the light soft. No pun intended or whatever, but you know. So I think that you're going to be good, or you're going to have at least a really good step forward if you jumped into something like just the Limo Studio kit. That's like #1 on here, but that's specifically a softbox kit. So this Amazon, this one's right here. So you get whatever. Here's a couple things, tips on lighting. So this is going to really move the needle for you. And it's not too expensive. And if you were in the UK, I believe I saw you could probably get something like this on Amazon UK. Here's what you're looking for. Good reviews, get the good reviews. This number, if this number can be higher, get more. Because you can always, if you can dim the lights or if you can turn some of them off, more is better than less if you can control it, because video cameras love light. So you'll see like 1,000 watts, you'll see 1,500 watts. But what you want is a soft box, like a box, and then it's got the thing. And actually this metallic material here amplifies the light and makes it look even brighter. So anyways, that's what you also get to have a soft box. And then you've got the cover that softens the light. So that's what I would recommend to do for that. Let's talk about how to get some video ideas and answer the question. We're going to workshop a channel talking about teaching kids. So what you know what I mean, again, what you do to find video ideas is this my very basic 101 tip. And there's about 4 or 5 other things I do, but this one I think will add a lot of value to what you're doing right now. And so immediately, like we just got, I guess it depends on what you're teaching kids to do, but it shows right here, teaching kids how to read, teaching kids to snowboard, or teaching kids about money. So I'd have to know a little bit more about your channel. So if somebody else wants to give me a niche, or like give me what your channel is about, and maybe then like the vision of your channel. And so one is toxic mold. That's kind of clear. So again, same deal. We're getting video ideas. So toxic mold symptoms. So that's a good video idea. And I bet you a lot of people are searching for this because, like, look at how many views this has, 400,000. Because people are probably wondering, like, did I just get the symptoms of toxic mold? So you'd want to create that video. And then here's another thing, though, you could do on it. So what you do is you start typing, and it's giving you, these predictions are what real human beings on YouTube are searching for. So in your niche, you could then, I mean, if you wanted to search on the internet and find a bunch of toxic mold rash pictures and then make a video about it, because what people, you think about the intent of the user that's searching, they're like, hey, is my rash a toxic mold or something? You know? And so that is what you could do. You start with some video ideas. Greg, thank you so much. I'm going to answer your question in just a sec. And then you can also throw an underscore, toxic black mold. So now we have an underscore before it. That's what I meant to say. And it'll give you a whole other angle, toxic black. So you see though, like that's just kind of the precursor. What you want to do is you start with YouTube search and start typing in different combinations of search terms to figure out the exact phrases that people are searching for. And that's where a ton of video ideas come from. Then, you know what? We'll do another video about how to get video ideas in the future. Cause I'd love to, but then I have a process. I have about 10 things that's off of digital that leads more into the psychology, the creativity, things I do to get inspired and come up with video ideas. Greg asks, are softboxes better than umbrella lights? Greg, in answer to your question, I don't think you need to worry too much about umbrella lights, one or the other being better. When you use the umbrella light, if you're shooting it through the umbrella, so like in this one, the umbrella would actually need to be pointing down, right? It's still going to diffuse the light. And so if you already have some umbrella lights, Greg, you're probably good. Just stick with them. They're in a way, they're kind of the same. Here's the difference though that you're going to get. So notice this bulb is 200 watts and it can't really be brighter than 200 watts because there's no amplification of the light. Whereas when you throw it inside of a softbox that has all of that reflective material, that kind of like really intensifies the bulb itself. So again, yes and no, like to your question, if you already have some umbrella lights, I really wouldn't worry about it too much. You're probably good with them. But that's sort of the benefit of softboxes is it can be a little more controlled. It's a little more directional because they're just coming right out. It's amplified by that material. And then they kind of have the same effect because there is a kind of a scrim on the end or a filter on the end that then diffuses the light to make it nice. Hey, appreciate you so much. And look forward to doing more of these. Again, if you enjoy these live broadcasts, thanks for everybody who jumped into Super Chat. Can you hit the like button? Would mean the world to me. And then jump on. We're doing this tomorrow or very soon or in a few hours, depending on when you're watching this. If you're on the replay, get link in the description to go to ideatoincome.live. Going to be a live webinar with myself and Shalene Johnson, who million Facebook likes, incredible biz expert, has been doing business for 20 years, has had a lot of really famous. This actually sounds funny, but she actually has the #1 infomercial on TV right now, like the #1 period, hands down. She's the creator of PIO, which is an exercise program. But here's why it's #1. And this like blew the whole industry's mind. If you've seen infomercials, your immediate gut reaction to that was like, dude, infomercials are lame. Exactly. They're just like, it's always, it's an infomercial. One of the things she did on her PIO infomercial was she shot it on her iPhone. How cool is that? So like, she shot it on her iPhone because we live in a world where people are Snapchatting, Instagram storing, doing all this kind of stuff. So she completely flipped the script because she's smart. She understands where things are going and whatnot. So anyways, she has got a lot of cool tips. And Kathy's saying she's an innovator, and she is 100%. So we're going to be hanging out. She's going to share a lot of tips tomorrow at Idea to Income. Raphael, thanks so much for the super chat. Appreciate you. New videos coming soon. Links are in the description, everything we talked about. In the meantime, keep hustling, stay on your grind, stay focused, keep chipping away at your goals. If you have a bad day, just get back up because tomorrow is a new day. And keep building your influence, income, and impact with video. And remember that Think Media TV is here to help you go further, faster in media. So I'm pumped to be connected. Look forward to seeing you in future videos. And we will talk soon. Later.